Welcome to What Does This Data Say? I am Ajay Prakash. A quick welcome to all our new subscribers. I appreciate your choice and hope you will find our channel useful. Now, today we turn our attention to Bengal, a state where political emotions have always run high, where slogans, street marches, and poetry often mattered as much as manifestos. For over a decade, Mamata Banerjee, or Didi to her supporters, dominated Bengal's political theatre. She was the street fighter who dethroned the mighty left front after 34 long years. But today, the same leader looks embattled, tired, and surrounded by dissension. The Trinamool Congress, or the TMC, that once looked invincible, is showing cracks. And in the wings, the Bharatiya Janata Party, once a marginal player in Bengal, is waiting eager for its moment. In this episode, I will dissect the decline of Didi and ask the question, is Bengal ready to change its political script once again? Mamta's story is almost legendary. A lower middle class girl from Kolkata who took the left when nobody dared, who built her political identity on endless agitation from Singur to Nandigram until she finally swept the left out in 2011. Her strengths were clear. She had street level instincts. Very few leaders possess that. She was fearless and could connect with ordinary Bengalis in their own language and idiom. She gave hope to the people who had grown weary of the left's bureaucratic stagnation. But what worked in the days of resistance became a weakness in governance. Even after 13 years in power, she has often appeared as if she is still leading a protest. The agitation mode, the marches, dharnas, and slogans have not translated into consistent policy or effective administration. As a result, Bengal has not seen the economic revival it had hoped for. Jobs remain scarce, industry stays hesitant, and the state's youth often vote with their feet by migrating. So, how did Didi rise to power? To understand Mamata Banerjee's decline, we first need to recall her dramatic rise. For more than 3 decades after 1977, the left front ruled West Bengal. By the late 2000s, its long dominance had turned into political fatigue. Farmers' unrest in Singur and Nandigram over land acquisition became the spark that ignited Mamata's final push. In the 2011 assembly election, Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress, allied with the Congress, ended the left's uninterrupted rule. The TMC won 184 of the 294 seats. The Congress, her ally at that time, won 42 seats. The left front, led by CPIM, collapsed to 62 seats, an unimaginable for a bloc that had ruled for 34 years. The BJP at that time managed just 4% of the vote share and no seats at all. Mamata became Bengal's first woman chief minister and the undisputed face of the change. For the first few years, she remained immensely popular as the giant killer who restored pride to a restless electorate. In the 2016 assembly election, despite rising criticism of her administration, Mamata still led the TMC to an even bigger victory. TMC bagged 211 seats. The Left Congress alliance was reduced to 76 seats combined. The BJP had opened its account, won 3 seats, but still a fringe force. The next turning point came with the 2019 Lok Sabha election, when the BJP surged to 18 of Bengal's 42 seats, cutting into TMC's bastions. It signaled that Mamata's dominance could be challenged, but she was far from finished. In the 2021 Assembly election, amid intense polarization and a fierce campaign, Mamata's TMC defied the pundits and the BJP's huge organizational push. TMC won a resounding 213 seats. The BJP, despite its aggressive campaign and central leadership's involvement, managed only 77 seats. The Congress was nearly wiped out, winning just two seats. The left failed to win a single seat in the assembly for the first time since independence. One moment from that campaign still lingers in Bengal's political memory. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's repeated taunt at rallies, Didi O Didi. It was meant as a playful jibe, but it was widely criticized as condescending and sexist. Many observers believe it backfired, allowing Mamata to portray herself as a wronged but defiant leader, and helped her rally, especially women voters, to her side. This electoral history explains why Mamata Banerjee is still seen as a formidable fighter. Her decline today is striking precisely because she once looked invincible. The personality factor, strengths and flaws of Mamata Banerjee. Mamata's charisma is real. She can command a crowd, coin a catchy slogan overnight, and turn an issue into a movement. Yet her leadership style is highly centralized and often impulsive. Her decisions are guided by instinct more than by deliberation, which has alienated competent administrators. She also tends to personalize politics, often attacking opponents with sharp words, which might rally her loyalists but also creates bitterness. Observers say that in recent years she looks physically more fatigued, at times struggling to keep up the same street fighter energy. This perception has emboldened both her rivals inside the party and the BJP outside it. The exodus from TMC, as we see cracks in the fortress. For years, the TMC looked like an unshakable fortress, but over the last half decade, its walls have started to crumble. The big names that have defected are Suvendu Adhikari, once the key organizer in Nandigram and the mass leader of Purba Medinipur, now sits in the BJP and serves as leader of opposition. Mukul Roy, a founding member of TMC, has oscillated between the parties, symbolizing the disillusionment of many veterans. Several district level satraps, even panchayat leaders, have crossed over. The reasons are not hard to find. A sense that the party is now dominated by the chief minister's nephew, Abhishek Banerjee. Allegations of corruption from the chit fund scam to the teacher recruitment scandal. A feeling among old hands is that Mamata is no longer open to internal debate. These desertions give the BJP a ready-made network in West Bengal. In many districts, it was not the saffron cadre that defeated the TMC, but its own former soldiers. We now observe a fractious relationship with key figures. Mamata's own circle is far from united. Mahua Moitra, the party's articulate MP, once projected as a future face of the TMC in Delhi, has had troubled relationship with the leadership. Her independent style and open defiance in parliamentary debates earned her a following, but also friction with the party's old guard. The cash for query scandal further strained that bond. Kalyan Banerjee, one of the senior parliamentarians, has often spoken out of turn, sometimes embarrassing the leadership. He represents a faction of old timers who are unhappy with the rise of Abhishek Banerjee. Together, these frictions show a party whose of gravity is shifting and whose leader is struggling to hold the pieces together. The agitational facade, a double edged sword. Mamata Banerjee's entire political persona is built on protest. It worked brilliantly when she was fighting the left. It gave her an image of courage and defiance when she opposed the UPA over fuel price hikes or when she confronted the Modi government over the CAA NRC. But Bengal's voters are now restless. They want better jobs, infrastructure, and more investment. The perpetual marches and dharnas do not address these needs. Even the TMC insiders whisper that the old style of fiery speeches, cult like rallies, no longer excites the younger generation. The agitational energy, once her biggest asset, now risks looking outdated. So, is the BJP waiting in the wings in Bengal? The BJP's rise in Bengal is one of the most dramatic stories of Indian politics in the last decade. From a party with barely any footprint, it surged to win 18 of the 42 Lok Sabha seats in 2019. Though it failed to win the 2021 assembly election, it firmly replaced the left and the Congress as the principal opposition. The key factors in BJP's advance are the defection of TMC heavyweights who brought with them local networks, the consolidation of the Hindu vote in border districts like North 24 Parganas, Cooch Behar, and Nadia, the well oiled election machinery backed by the central leadership. Yet the BJP faces the challenge of being perceived as an outsider party in a state proud of its distinct cultural identity. Its dependence on central leaders during campaigns is both a strength and a limitation. The coming 2026 assembly election will be the ultimate test. Can it finally translate its Lok Sabha gains into state power? Now, the mood in West Bengal is changing. Bengal's electorate is complex. It does not easily surrender to a single narrative. Historically, it has backed powerful personalities from Subhash Chandra Bose to Jyoti Basu to Mamta herself. But recent by-election results and opinion polls suggest a fatigue with TMC's governance and a willingness to at least listen to the BJP's promise of change. The teacher recruitment scam, rising law and order concerns, and the lack of economic dynamism have all dented Mamta's aura. The critical question is whether the opposition can convince voters that it can govern Bengal in a way that preserves its cultural pride while delivering growth. So Mamata Banerjee's political journey is a story of defiance. From the days she slept on railway platforms as a young activist to the nights she camped on Kolkata's streets during protests. She is still the tallest leader in Bengal, but no longer unchallenged. The TMC's strength now rests more on the weakness of the opposition rather than on its own record. If the BJP manages to present credible local leadership and reach out beyond communal polarization, the next election could be the most competitive Bengal has seen in decades. So, is Bengal ready to trade its long time street fighter for a new political establishment? Or will Mamta, like so many times before, reinvent herself and fight back? The coming will tell. One thing is certain: Bengal's political theatre will remain as intense and dramatic as ever. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Bengal shifting politics, do subscribe, share this episode, and tell us what you think. Is Mamata's decline irreversible, or does Didi still have another comeback left in her? Thank you for watching.